You know, everyone knows Apple. We see the slick products, the beautiful designs, the genius marketing. But what if I told you their real secret weapon, the actual engine behind all that success, is something you can't even see? It's a hidden philosophy, a way of operating that is hiding right there in plain sight. So let's pull back the curtain. But first, let me ask you something, because we've all been here. You start a project, right? Maybe a new process at work, or hey, even just trying to organize your garage. You make a bunch of small, totally logical decisions to make things better, but somehow you end up with this tangled, complicated, absolute mess. Why does that happen?
Well, the answer comes down to this really crucial difference that most of us just completely miss. We are constantly confusing what is simple with what is easy. And if you look at where these words come from, it tells you the whole story. Simple literally means one fold, untangled. It's an objective thing. Easy, on the other hand, means at hand or nearby. It's totally subjective. It's just about what's convenient for you right here, right now. And that choice, choosing easy, almost always leads to this massive debt of complexity down the road.
And this gets to the absolute core of this idea. Pursuing true objective simplicity is often the much, much harder path. It takes real discipline and upfront thinking, not just grabbing the closest tool. And this choice leads us to two very, very different ways of building things. First, you've got complecting. This is what happens when we choose easy. We braid, we intertwine different ideas and functions together. Just think of a giant spreadsheet where your raw data, your calculations, and your final presentation are all mashed up in the same place. Sure, it's easy to start, but just try changing one little thing without breaking everything else. It's impossible. That right there is complecting.
Now, the opposite of that is composing. This is the hard work of simplicity. This is about building systems from independent modular parts, kind of like Lego bricks. Each piece has one clear job. You can place them next to each other, you can swap a piece out, update it, remove it, and the rest of the system just keeps on working perfectly. This is what gives you clarity and makes things last.
And honestly, there's no better example of choosing simple over easy than Apple back in 1997. When Steve Jobs came back, that company was literally on the verge of bankruptcy. And why? They were drowning in the consequences of years and years of easy decisions that had created this massively complex, tangled, inefficient operation.
And the problem wasn't abstract. You could actually touch it. The company was sitting on $400 million of excess inventory. Just stuff. Products losing value every single day, just sitting in warehouses. It was the physical proof of a complected system. Too many products, way too many suppliers, and all these processes braided into a giant knot they couldn't untie.
So what did? They brought in Tim Cook to basically decomplect their entire supply chain. And the results? Oh man, they were just staggering. Look at this. Inventory that used to sit around for a whole month was now moving in less than a week. They went from over 100 key suppliers down to just 24 trusted partners. And that $400 million of dead weight, they slashed it to $78 million in only 7 months. This wasn't just a small improvement, it was a complete revolution, and it was all driven by this one philosophy. And this quote from Tim Cook, it just nails the why behind it all. This wasn't just about numbers on a spreadsheet. It was a cultural war against complexity. They wanted to be fast-moving and agile, and that meant getting all the junk out of the way so people could actually focus on what mattered, making amazing products.
Okay, so those are the incredible results, but how? How in the world did they actually pull it off? Well, it came down to a series of really deliberate, really hard choices designed to untangle that whole system. Let's break it down. Each one of these steps was an act of choosing simple over easy. Slashing the product line down to just 4 core categories, that was hard. It meant saying no to a lot of things. Cutting suppliers from over 100 to just 24, that was brutal. It meant ending relationships. Centralizing warehouses and treating inventory like it was milk about to expire, that takes immense discipline. But every single one of those hard choices removed a layer of that tangled braid, composing a system that was faster, clearer, and way more powerful. Now, it's really tempting to just think, okay, well, that's Apple, a unique story about a unique company. But this battle between simple and easy, it happens in every company, in every industry. There's a name for it, complexity creep. It's that slow, almost invisible process where systems just get more and more tangled over time. Does any of this sound a little familiar? Marketers gone wild, adding just one more product variation. Engineers gone wild, creating a custom part when a standard one would work just fine. And of course, that slow buildup of rules and procedures, or the total chaos after a merger. Every single one is an easy, short-term choice that slowly weaves an organization into a knot until it just grinds to a halt.
For a perfect, almost funny example of this, just look at the IKEA tea candle. Seriously. The easy choice is to just use the packaging you already have. The simple, but much harder path was to completely redesign the candle and the packaging just so they could pack them a little bit tighter, and the result is absolutely incredible. They fit over 100 more packs on a single pallet. That tiny, difficult change up front saved them almost 18,000 pallets and took 200 truckloads off the road every single year. It's a massively simpler, cheaper, and greener result, all from one hard choice.
So what does all this mean for us? Because this isn't just about giant companies like Apple or IKEA. This whole principle of simple versus easy, of composing instead of complecting, it applies everywhere. And it reveals this hidden cost that we are all paying whenever we take the easy way out. I want you to think of it as a complexity tax. It's the time you waste in confusing meetings, it's the money you burn on inefficient processes, it's the opportunity cost of having your best people constantly fixing things instead of building new things. It's a tax that never, ever shows up on a balance sheet, but it is silently draining the life out of any organization that lets complexity creep in. So I'm going to leave you with this question. Just look around your own world, your work, your team, your projects. Where are you choosing the convenience of what's at hand over the disciplined, harder work of building something that is truly simple? Because figuring that out, well, that's the first step to untangling the knots and unleashing the incredible power of simplicity.